Good people of YouTube, my name is Spanner, welcome back to another episode of Conquests of the Longbow. Let's continue reading out some scrolls. This scroll describes the death of Attila, as written by Jordans in the 6th century. Attila had an endless number of wives, as was the custom of his race. But the excess of his indulgences in women, combined with too much wine, caused him to fall asleep upon his back, whereupon a bloody flux from his nose flowed into his throat and killed him. The people of his race mourned him with great clamor. The men cut deep wounds into their faces, so they would weep manly blood instead of tears. The women wept and wailed and cut their hair, yet so terrible was Attila that his death can only be counted as a blessing. From the Vita Caroli, written by Einhard in the 9th century, is a description of the habits of Charlemagne, ruler of the Franks. It says that he was extremely temperate in partaking of food and drink, especially drink, and abhorred drunkenness, especially in himself or any of his family. He ate only 4 courses in his daily meal, and most dearly loved hunted meat roasted over a spit. During the meal, he would hear some sort of recital or entertainment of history and stories of ancient deeds. Often in summer, after a light meal of fruit, he would sleep for 2 or 3 hours, for he would wake 4 or 5 times during the night. He would admit friends, litigants, and do other business, even while dressing if the need was urgent. He knew many foreign tongues and was exceedingly skilled in Latin. He valued scholars and had many learned teachers, and studied also rhetoric and astronomy. He would fill his bed with tablets and notebooks, attempting to learn the art of writing, though he advanced not far in this, having started late in life. Isidore of Seville of the 7th century wrote the etymologies. Herein is a writing upon the origin of glass. It says glass came from Phoenicia, next to Judea. There is a swamp from which comes the river Balus at the base of Mount Carmel, and it flows for 5 miles into the sea. The sands are washed clean from the river, and where meals were prepared along the beach, and have no stones to place under utensils, they put down lumps of the mineral natron from their ships. Natron? Is that an N? I guess it is. When the natron burned, it mixed with the sand and the new liquid flowed but was translucent. Soon, by experimentation with other substances, they developed this art and learned to melt copper and natron within, and afterwards to blow the lumps into shapes. A legend says that a man brought a glass phial to Tiberius Caesar and threw it upon the ground. It did not shatter, but dented like metal. The man could hammer it back into shape like metal, yet it was glass. Caesar asked if anyone else knew of this secret. The man said only he knew, whereupon Caesar had him decapitated, saying that if glass could be made that did not break, then gold and all metals would be worth no more than mud. Here is a description of a palace in Constantinople called Magnaura of Magna Aula, meaning the Great Court. The emperor's chair within this palace was so constructed that it could be raised to a great height, even unto the ceiling, and lowered again. Before the seat was a tree made of gilded bronze, in whose branches were birds of gilded bronze, which would utter notes to match their species. Gigantic lions of gilded wood or bronze had tails that would lash the ground, jaws that opened to emit roars with quivering tongues. This was written by Liutprand in his Antipodosis in the 10th century. Okay, this is the Crusades. We read this last episode. William of Newburgh reports this in the Historia Rerum Anglicarum. It tells of a village at the mouth of the river Tweed in the northern regions. A poor but very evil man was buried. but at night would leave his grave and walk again. At his side would run a pack of barking dogs. This silent sound threw the people into great terror until he returned to his grave at dawn. Those unlucky to be caught would have their blood sucked by this creature. The elders consulted, having heard other tales. Thus they hired 10 bold young men to dig up the horrible corpse and chop it to pieces, then burn it. Yet after it was destroyed, still a plague came and killed most of the people, and it was said the plague came from the walking dead. There is no notation of the writer of this scroll, yet it seems to speak of the history of this very fortress turned monastery. It speaks of the Ignis Fatuus, the will-o'-the-wisps whose name means foolish fire. These, it says, are the spirits of the dead, those who have drowned in this fens. It speaks also of the guardians of the gate and names them thusly: Cogito the thinker, Malitia the malicious, Ineptus the foolish, Vocalis the speaker, is that a... what the hell is that? Is that a U? Ieunus the hungry, Hilaris the jolly, and the Formis the ugly. It ends with this: when you've touched the face of wisdom and the face of that which hungers, then will the fool's tongue be loosened and the path made clear. Okay, this feels very important. I'll have to make a note here. The guardians. So there is Cogito, the thinker, Malitia, the malicious, Ineptus, the foolish, Vocalis, the speaker, Ieunus, the hungry, and Hilaris, the jolly, and the Formis, the ugly. Okay, when you've touched the face of wisdom and the face of that which hungers, then will the fool's tongue be loosened. And the path made clear. Is this part about the will-o'-the-wisps important? I don't think so. Okay, the other part, definitely important. Did I read this single one over here? I did. Let's continue in order. It is from an Anglo-Saxon manual of astronomy written but a century ago. It notes how the sea flows according to the rising of the moon, and that a tree cut down during a full moon will be harder against worm-eating than those cut down under a new moon. It is not stars but fire that falls from the sky, being fire which flies from heavenly bodies, for stars are fixed as God placed them in the firmament, and cannot fall as long as this world endures. Yet the moon, sun, evening, and day star, and 3 other stars are not fixed and move in their courses through the heavens. Septem Planetae, these 7 are called. This scroll speaks of what philosophers call atoms, which are so minute that they are indivisible and cannot be cut or divided or further broken down. It is believed that these atoms sweep through the void of the universe, restlessly going in all directions. Some ancient philosophers consider that all things, grass, crops, trees, fire, water, spring from and are composed from these atoms. In Greek, tomos means division. Atomos means indivisibility. Thus writes Isidore of Seville in the Etymologies in the 7th century. That was this one. So this. Herein Sulpicius Severus of the 5th century writes of the power of Saint Martin, who had gone to a pagan village and destroyed an ancient temple. He began then to cut down a sacred pine tree, but the priests of the place objected. Saint Martin explained that it was not holy, but the boldest of them challenged him. He said, "If you have such faith in this god you worship, we will ourselves cut down this tree if you will allow yourself to be bound to the ground where it will fall, trusting only to your God to save you." This Saint Martin allowed, and was made fast onto the ground where the pagans thought no doubt could be that the tree would fall. As they cut, they cried out joyously, drawing a crowd. Saint Martin had no fear and waited patiently, with full faith in the Lord. As the tree fell crashing, he lifted up his hand, and the tree was driven back, to fall in the opposite direction, nearly falling upon those who had cut it. Thus were the pagans dismayed, and the village brought under the salvation of God. It's this one, okay. This tiny one. The duties of the cellarer of a monastery are described. He must be intelligent, mature of character, sober, have no greed, nor be lazy or insulting, nor boisterous. He should do nothing without the abbot's orders, and do whatever he is ordered. He should not offend the brothers, and should answer with humility and reason any untoward requests. He should care for children, guests, the sick, and poor, for by his treatment of them will he be weighed on the day of judgment. He is to look after the vessels and all sacred articles of the monastery. He is to give out equally and fairly the apportioned provisions to all brothers. This is written by Benedict of Nursia in the 6th century in his Regula. This fits the description Marion gave me. I'll tuck it into my sleeve. Oh, so the scroll was here. By Venatius Honorius, Clementianus Fortunatus, taken from Opera Patrologia Latina in the 6th century. This is a poem entitled Curse on the Chef. Black-hearted wretch, all caked in smoke, face like a soup-pot smeared with soot. Like your utensils filthy black, you three-legged pot, you slimy pan. You don't deserve these verses mine, I'll make a charcoal sketch instead, whose shameful likeness will recall a pitch-black-hearted man withal. And it is followed by Take It Easy, which reads as follows. Drop business and lawsuits on the Palatine. This festive table bids you dine and wine. Let din of law and wrangling cases rest, the day is joyous, to relax is best. So Palatine and not Palatine, so it rhymes with wine. And I think this is everything. Okay, that's the prior. Scribe's desk, sturdy chest. I see the prior is indulging in a bit of wine. Pardon me. Huh? Ah, Brother Eustace, has the conscience broken? Have you loosened his half-wit tongue? Nay, your grace. Then what are you doing here? One of your more trusted brothers arrived to take my place and bade me tell you he'd break the dwarf for you soon enough. Which brother dared to countermand my order to you? Forgive me, your worship, his name has clear fled my poor brain. 'Tis a poor brain indeed, a bacon brain, more full of fat than sense. Do what you will for now, I'll deal with your punishment and his later. Allow me to refill your goblet, your worship. You stupid, clumsy, worthless... Ugh! Clean up this mess, I'm going to my tower to wash out my robe. Aye, clumsy as a fox, your worship. On this scroll are Folk's scribbled bits of doggerel. So, can I actually go into the Prior's Tower? Oh, it's still locked. Okay, let's get Folk and get out of here, I guess. Folk is still here as I left him. So I guess today is not the day that I saved the widow's sons. Bless you, Hooded Robin Hood. Sorry. No matter, we must turn our wits to escape. There is a way, a secret way. Follow me. Well, I am... Where is it? The monks brought me in this way. It looks like a solid wall, but press here and it opens. Follow me. Please, let's go at once. As soon as they discover I'm gone, they'll come looking for us. Oh, I see. Here are the 7 faces of the Guardians. This gargoyle has a thoughtful look, a malicious, foolish, quite a mouth, lean and hungry, sense of humor, particularly hideous. So, the scroll says, touch the face of wisdom and the one that hungers. The fool's tongue will be loosened. So let's touch this one. This gargoyle may have shifted slightly at my touch, but it may have been a trick of the water. And I think it's this one. Hungry look. Thank the Virgin it didn't bite my fingers, though I almost thought it felt move at my touch. And then the fool's tongue will be loosened. Ah, now I found the means to loosen this fool's tongue. And this is the hidden counterweight to raise the grate. You've done it! We're free! Shh! Listen. They've discovered our escape. Thank the Blessed Lady, the fog is so thick on these waters, it'll hide us until we reach the shore. My poor words of gratitude could never express what is in my heart. Let me give you 2 parting gifts to show my sincerity. Take these ragged verses of mine. They hold secrets within secrets, treasures within treasures. Now open the end of the wooden cylinder and tap gently into your hand what is hidden within. By the Virgin, a magnificent ring of lapis lazuli set in silver. No ordinary ring either. My master, God save the king, saved the life of a magician during the siege of Jerusalem. The magician gave him 2 magic rings, the ring that commands fire and the ring that commands water. The abbot of Nottingham, may his brain be infested with leprous maggots, has taken the ring that commands fire for himself. Whosoever wears that ring cannot be harmed by fire, however hot. What you hold in your hands is the ring that commands water. In truth, it commands elemental spirits, or other such beings that live in watery places, rather than commanding the water itself. I bid you to keep it safe until my master can come calling for it himself. And I charge you, if ever you can deprive that fat, scabrous abbot of the fire ring, you will be doing your king a noble service. I give you my word to put my wits to it. If it can be done, I will find a way. That I commend to you these bits of tomfoolery that I call verse. Within them you will find the key to unlock the ring of fire. Farewell then, I'm off to find Queen Eleanor and serve her until my master, bless him, is returned to us. Farewell, folk. We shall meet again if God wills. Okay, I think we're done in the monastery then. Oh, the day is over. I hurried back to camp as quickly as I could, arriving shortly after dusk to find my men anxiously awaiting my return. Would that this ring folk gave you could make you invisible, then you could walk into Nottingham Castle and free the widow's sons? If you think I acted wrongly... Nay, Robin, 'twas as clever a trick as you've ever pulled. And freeing the king's own Jester was a fine deed. But hell, Robin Dickon will hang as soon as the sheriff pleases. Tomorrow may be our last chance to rescue them. Then let us sleep now. We'll need all our strength and cunning to save those men. Oh, what is this? Is it my disguise? I'll need to take care if I'm to pass as one of these militant monks. I'll take with me only what I feel is necessary. I see. I'm not sure I need disguise just yet. You're looking thoughtful. Will says he's just gotten word that Hal, Hob and Dickon will hang at sunset today. Hob and me grew up together. He's like one of my own brothers. Much, I swear I'll do all I can to save them. I think the poor widow will die if she loses all her sons. Okay, let's save here. And let's check around. Willows, Marion is not here. Can't give her the scroll. No widow. Nothing here. Oh, here's a monk. His robes may be useful if I'm to go into the meet the abbot. Top of the day to you, brother. Thank you. Did you want something? What brings you along Watling Street? I'm not really supposed to discuss it with strangers, but no one would miss you for quite some time if you didn't return. Oh, mercy, don't hurt me. Why, I've done nothing but talk to you. There's no need to panic, yet. You wouldn't harm a man of the cloth, would you, sir? And how is it that a man of the cloth requires so much cloth to cover his enormous belly? What of those who go hungry while you eat well? And those who are forced to toil upon the abbot's grandiose abbey under threat of excommunication? You really have to, take that up with his grace. Faugh, what a useless bloody conversation this is. Aye, you're right. May I go now? I'll think about it. I kinda want your clothes. I hardly need my men to deal with this cowardly fellow. Do I just shoot him? What is this anyway? I'll have your robe now. Whatever you want, anything. Don't kill me, I beg you. Take my robe, but spare me. Have mercy. I trow, monk. Threatening you with a bow is like swatting a fly with a catapult. It gets the job done, but with far more effort than is needed. Yeah, get him, Tuck. Have mercy, oh good friar. How can you consort with these thieves and rogues? Take me to town and the abbot will reward you well. Keep chopping, or I'll reward you with the flat of my blade again. I am now a monk. Robin, why, you make a fine figure of a monk in that robe. Bless you, my son. Take good care of our guest. I'm off to Watling Street. When he's finished with this, I'll take him out to gather more firewood to chop. He'll know the true meaning of honest work when I'm done with him. Have mercy! Alright, and with this I guess it's time to end the episode for now. So, thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed some more Conquests of the Longbow, and as usual, don't miss the next episode, because I won't. I'll see you all next time.